What's up? Hey, what's good? What's poppin'? I am MsBerry. Welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you guys for sliding through and coming to kick it with me. As you guys can see from this title, I had this video on my list for some time now, and I just been like strolling right past it, not really intentionally, but you know. Anyway, y'all, this is, Candace Owens. I know a lot of you guys are familiar with her. A lot of you guys don't like her, and a lot of you guys love her. So it's a balance. But anyway, in this particular video, she's going to be talking about why celebs can talk politics, but others cannot. Well, why some celebs can talk politics and others cannot with M.i.a or M.i.a. I'm not 100% sure. I'm done talking. Let's just get into it. All right, y'all. So let's press the play button. Can't even see hair in my face.
What it is Black Lives Matter, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, it was a psychosis decided upon by the mainstream media narrative. There wasn't a single statistic or data point that could back up the fact that
nobody wanted to have this conversation. That was my point. It's
but the Sri Lankan thing is more important. It's a real thing, right? And then we say, if you do not get on board with the fake thing, and how dare you bring up a real thing when we have decided already on the fake thing, and we have the entire ecosystem, the mainstream media, we own the celebrities, we own the phones, we own the apps, we've got Apple, we've got Google. How dare you think you have the audacity to stand up to the button that we just pressed? And that's what you did.
Yeah, because the way I saw it is that I was very confused by living in England in 2015, and all I'd seen the 5 years from the minute I left America after the Sri Lankan war ended, and I couldn't talk about it. I was like, okay, I'm leaving, And from this perspective, the way I saw it is that Obama and Hillary Clinton had started the Arab Spring, and this entire campaign was going on in the Middle East. And then we had all of this other stuff and problems, and ISIS was popping up in, Iraq or whatever. And, and they were sort of threatening our comfortable lives in the West as well. And all of these conversations.
I'm not that familiar with, is it M.i.a or M.i.a, or I'm not exactly sure. Or is this the person? Or what? I'm not familiar with them, so I really just don't know. But let's keep going.
And all of these conversations were going on your mainstream media. This is just the news I was getting at the time. And that's where my head was at when I said, oh, an American musician who's huge, like their platform is huge because they toe the line, which is what we're already talking about. When you toe the line, you get to be a billionaire. And I said, when you're towing the line, you can't say hashtag Syrian Life Matters. 100%. You just cannot. And that's why I was cancelled. So then, if you know that I was at the Super Bowl, and I gave the middle finger at the Super Bowl, and I was sued for $16 million. So I have the right to talk about the Super Bowl because I was affected by the Super Bowl in my personal life and experience. So I'm coming from a personal
Why did I just pick that up again?
place, So I was like, yeah, I went on the Super Bowl and I gave a middle finger and I got sued 16 million, And they said, what do you think of Beyonce putting up the Black Fist, supporting Black Panthers at the Super Bowl? And it was a hit job, and I didn't know, but the journalist asked me, and I said, well, she can do that as a Black woman, but maybe she won't be able to say Syrian Life Matters,
Pointing out the hypocrisy and the irony.
So I was just saying,
get what she means.
Yes, that's fine. It's fine, because you could be a Black woman in mainstream music and you can say, I am Black, which is fine. But I was like, she also supported openly the Hillary Clinton campaign and the Obama campaign. She would not be able to talk about the war in Syria But then the counterattack that I got and the way they cancelled me was to say, Black people are Muslims too. So how dare you say that? But that just didn't make sense.
It never makes any sense.
So
it never makes any sense.
I was like, but I know that Black people could be Muslims. That's not the point I was making. I was specifically making a point about if you are a mainstream artist who politically funds the campaign of this candidate who's then engaged in a war over here, would they speak out about it? No.
What you're saying makes perfect sense. And it's interesting that you start this by saying, I probably shouldn't even go there. I just want to say what you're saying makes perfect sense. It's just like what you're saying makes sense because you probably sometimes question your own sanity because sometimes I say something and I'm like, did I just say what I said? Because the headlines are now, have I said something else that I have to go back and listen to what I said? And that is the power of the gaslighting machine, is that they start to make you, I don't know if I should even say anything at all, because no matter what, you lose by even opening your mouth.
Of saying, you're not Black, so you can't speak on it, you know, is another thing that has happened since then in a wider, you know, it's been that argument of you're not this, so you can't talk about it.
I get what she's saying. It's the world we live in, you know, just like certain races can't use certain terms because it's very, you know, negative and it's very derogatory. Is that the proper word that I'm looking for? Because I feel like I was going to say something else. But, you know, it's just certain words that we use that are, you know, it's different. And it's just like just certain things that you can't really say or just talk about it because it'd be just like, you know, offensive to them, you know, it's just certain things that you can't say. So I definitely get what she mean. It's not like you can't say it, but it's like you can't say it if you reading what I'm saying right now.
You know, like if you leave race out of it, you're not a woman, so you can't talk about it. You're not a man, you can't talk about it. You know, like that
just
sort
like
of.
I'm sorry to, you know, just pause it so quickly like that again. Am I going slow? The audacity. Okay. All right. Okay. I think I'm moving back to normal. It seemed like I was talking slow, but anyway. Yeah, just like with the abortion situation, you know, like a man trying to tell a woman what to do with her body type of thing. It's just like, well, you're not a woman. How would you know this or that? Like how you will never experience this or that, or, you know, it's just different things. So I get it.
To kind of shut down the thing is affected culture in how artists work, you know, like I see the newer generation suffering with this point. You know, a lot of the people that I work with or come across, they always say, oh, but I'm a white male, so I can't touch this subject. You know, they say, well, I'm a Chinese person, so I have to do this, and I'm a da-da-da. And that sort of box building, you know, it's really interesting to me.
Just giving people power. And it's crap because what's interesting is I'm a Black woman. And
yes, so you're
I
a
was
Black
not
woman,
allowed
which is why
to
I wanted
say.
Why I wanted to bring it up, to be like, you know, having been on this side where it's very confusing. Like also my dad's book, when he talks about monetary exploitation, he's not talking about monetary exploitation of Indian people specifically. It's like, no. Globalization and the globalist system is everyone, you know, includes everyone. So when you're past a certain point and you see the picture, you cannot define things by race. If one people are oppressed in one place and another person's oppressed in the other place, it's still oppression. And you get to see it like that, you know? And if you identify the oppressor, which is what the whole BLM thing is, you know, we're discussing oppression. And there's valuable conversations to be had between somebody like me and how the Tamil people who were engaged in an armed struggle, you know, and this was my response is to say if you fast forward some time, where do you go with this? It would be a Black revolution in America. You know, the fast forward, the thinking of this racial conversation, you know, or it's, you know, in America, it's not a territorial thing and it's not an ethnicity thing, but it is a racial thing. But if you get to the extreme end of this conversation, it's a revolution, it's a struggle, you know, it could be an armed struggle. Mm-hmm. And my dad already thought that and went there in the 70s and set one up and had the army, you know. And then within that, within the Tamils, we had 4 fractions. So we had 4 different leaders with their 4 different groups, and then they were interfighting. So you can have a Candace Owens, you know, the leader of Black conservatives, or you can have the leader of BLM, whoever the leader is, or Beyonce, the leader of Black people. And they both say, okay, we need armed resistance, and that's what it's about. Mm-hmm. Then I can tell you how it ends. You know, it was a debate that was worth having, but nobody wanted the debate. This cancel culture thing where they made me out to be the racist person was not, I felt, you know, I was like, who's at the bottom of it? You know, there's so many different people this could be. So that made me look into it even more, you know, and I was like, well, you have this elite class, you know, you have Black elites, and then you have poor Black people in America who are controlled by the same mass media narrative as everybody else, white people and the Hispanics. And, you know, they're all in it together. Like right now, it's confusing because the vice president is Tamil. You know, she's Tamil and Black. So that's another thing. But we're not allowed to talk to each other because I'm a Tamil and you're Black. And you have to be in your experience and your narratives, and I have to be in my experience and my narrative, but we cannot have conversations.
All right, y'all. So we're going to end that video right there. All right. Y'all know I'm just random. I be trying to figure out if I'm still moving because it was just like, I don't know. Like, I don't be noticing. I'm pretty sure you guys will notice before I notice because I'm like looking at the video and then I'm looking at the other screen. I have multiple screens set up here. Pretty sure you can see my other work screens in the back, but my computer screens, you guys can't see this side. It's a whole side. It's like a L shape. So it's like, so I'm pretty sure you guys will notice when it's messing up before I would. But anyway, that was definitely pretty interesting. You know, I was just trying to follow where she was going with it, but you know, I understood what she was saying, you know, because I'm this or I'm that, I'm not allowed to speak on this or that. I mean, everyone is entitled to have their own opinion about something, but I do get, you know, it's just certain things, certain terms, certain words, certain whatever you want to say that you just shouldn't say to other people of a different race or culture or, you know, however you, nationality, a better way to say it, you know, just out of respect, because it's just real disrespectful. And then when it comes to talk about, you know, just certain other issues, it's hard for them over there to talk about issues that's going on with this over here because they're not over here and they're not this and that, and then we're not over there. It's just like, it's a little confusing, but at the same time, it's just, I never really thought about it that way. I mean, it's of course, like, you know, you think about, okay, certain words and certain things that, you know, you can't say, but I never just really just thought about it from the political standpoint of, you know, why some celebs are talking about X, Y, Z, and why you don't hear anything from certain celebs. And I mean, you know, each reason could be different, but to me, it started making perfect sense to me. And it was just like, wow. Like, I just had a moment where I'm like, you know what? I never paid attention to that. But anyway, I thought it was you know, a pretty decent video. Candace didn't really do a lot of talking, which is surprising because most of the videos that I see with Candace, you know, she does a lot of talking, especially when it's other people's debate, but she didn't really say too much, which is shocking. It's the first video I've seen that Candace didn't say too much. But no, guys, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this reaction video just as much as I enjoy reacting to it. Y'all comment down below, let me know your thoughts, give me some recommendations. If you want to talk, let's talk. Also, guys, if you are not subscribed to my channel, what are you doing? Go ahead and hit that red subscribe button and ring that bell so when I drop a new video, you will know, you won't miss it, and you'll be right here. It don't cost nothing. It takes about maybe 2 or 3 seconds. But also, guys, don't forget to thumbs up, like this video, and if you're looking for the original video, it will be listed in my description box down below just for your own personal pleasure. If you guys want to go, you know, take a look and listen to the video again, y'all go over to Candace's channel and subscribe to her channel. I know a lot of you guys don't like her, and I know a lot of you guys love her, but I'm reacting to her video, so it's only right that, you know, I tell you guys to go show her some love, you know, and subscribe to her channel. You know, Candace is a new journey for me, y'all, and a lot of people were like, oh, you're listening to the wrong stuff, oh, Candace is not it. Let me be the one to decide that. Just because you might not agree with majority or anything that Candace says, that does not mean that I have to feel the same way. Your reason for not liking Candace is not my reason. I don't know Candace like that, like some of you may. So the videos that I'm reacting to her, I'm paying attention to certain stuff, how she talks, her mannerisms, like her intelligence, the things that she speak. I go research back because I research everything, even when I watch Tom and Soul. If you guys are familiar with him, I definitely react to him on my channel, so you guys can take a look at that. But you know, I just have to go fact check because it's easy for somebody to say something and you can see something or whatever on the video, but I just want to know if the knowledge that